So are you tired of all the winning yet? Are you enjoying all of the greatness? May I introduce you to Tokelau? Tokelau is 3 teeny tiny islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. That's our best approximation on our mapping software here at MSNBC HQ. Tokelau, again, it's 3 islands. It's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. About 1,500 people live there. One of the 3 islands that makes up Tokelau is apparently known for its famous swimming pigs. As for its economy, Tokelau kind of doesn't register on any international scale of economic measures because Tokelau doesn't really have much of an economy. It's basically subsistence, agriculture, and fishing, and, enjoying the swimming pigs. Donald Trump just imposed an across-the-board, no exceptions, 10% tariff on Tokelau. Take that, Tokelau bandits. You will screw over the United States of America no longer. May I also introduce you to the Keeling Islands. Keeling Islands are roughly halfway between Australia and Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean. Keeling Islands is 27 islands, but 25 of them are uninhabited. Several of those uninhabited islands have a real plastic trash problem, but that is not because anybody lives there, but because plastic trash from other countries makes its way across the Indian Ocean and washes up there. The 2 islands of the Keeling Islands that are inhabited, out of the 27 islands there, those 2 inhabited islands have a total population of 593 people. Well, Donald Trump just declared trade war on the Keeling Islands. All 593 Keeling Islanders will now be hit with an American government 10% tariff that will apply to, anything they might ever want to export here to us. Make it here, Keeling Islands, if you're going to make it. May I introduce you to Jan Mayen Island. It is a volcano, a volcanic island mostly covered in glaciers, hundreds of miles from anything else in the Arctic Ocean. Jan Mayen, I think that's how you say it. It does have an airstrip, but nobody lives there. Population 0 humans, many polar bears. That said, rest assured, we, the American people, are now protected from the predatory economic piracy of that uninhabited island. Thanks to our genius strongman ruler who has put the American government to work, Donald Trump has just slapped a 10% tariff on Jan Mayen Island, just in case anyone ever moves up there and tries to screw us over with their Jan Mayen Island underpriced exports and stuff. On the other end of the world, there's Heard, H-E-A-R-D, Heard Island, and also McDonald Island. They're in Antarctica. They are only reachable by boat, and it takes 2 weeks by sea to get there from Australia. Heard and what's the other one? McDonald Island, sorry. Heard and McDonald Island, I know I don't have to apologize. I'm not offending anybody. They're totally uninhabited, both of them. They're also active volcanoes, so even if you wanted to move there, even the penguins might caution you, right? But they're active volcanoes, one on each island, on both Heard and McDonald Islands. I will say those volcanoes and the penguins and seals who live there, they will never menace the American economy again as they have in the past by flooding us with their cheap exports of what, like fresh air, cool breezes, a waft of eau de penguin? I don't know. What do they send us? The uninhabited Antarctic volcanoes of Heard and McDonald Islands were just slapped by Donald Trump today with a steep 10% tariff. Are you tired of all the winning, America? Can you just feel the practical economic benefits that MAGA leadership is bringing to us at last? Isn't it a relief? Agence France Presse picked up on another one of these as well. This is super genius. Quote, Britain's Falkland Islands, population 3,200 people and around 1 million penguins, got particular punishment from Trump's tariffs today. Quote, the South Atlantic territory was walloped with tariffs of not 10%, but 41% on exports to the United States. 41% tariff on the Falkland Islands because, yeah. Our president waited until late in the day to announce these genius tariffs today. He waited specifically until just after 4 p.m. Eastern time because the financial markets close at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and he didn't want to see that reaction in real time. After the markets close, there's no active trading on the American stock markets, right? But people trade in futures that indicate essentially what they think the markets are going to do when they open up tomorrow. This is the lead right now at CNBC.com explaining how that's going. Quote, U.S. stock futures cratered as President Donald Trump unveiled sweeping tariffs of at least 10% and even higher for some countries, raising the risks of a global trade war that hits the already sputtering U.S. economy. Futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 1,069 points, or 2.5%. S&P 500 futures dropped 3.6%. NASDAQ 100 futures lost 4.5%. Yeah, are you tired of all the winning? Did you vote for the rich guy because you thought he'd be good with money? CNBC quotes Art Hogan, chief market strategist at B. Riley Wealth Management, saying, quote, what was delivered was as haphazard as anything this administration has done to date. And the level of complication on top of the ultimate level of the new tariffs is worse than had been feared and not yet priced into the market. At the New York Times, they described a broad range of economists, quote, revising their forecasts down for growth and up for inflation as a result of Mr. Trump's announcement. Nancy Lazar, chief global economist at Piper Sandler, had previously expected a flat next quarter in terms of U.S. economic growth. She now expects that U.S. economic growth in the second quarter may be negative. It may fall 1%. Quote, because you're going to be increasing prices more aggressively, and it's going to negatively impact the consumer space more than we had anticipated. She said, quote, it's an immediate hit to the economy. And when she says it's going to negatively impact the consumer space, that's where we all live. That's the negatively impacted space, the place where regular humans live and have to spend money on stuff. We, in our office, contacted Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman just after Trump made his announcement today to ask his initial reaction. He told us this, quote, Trump's tariff announcement was full-on crazy. Not only is he imposing higher tariffs than almost anyone expected, but he's justifying them with completely false claims about other countries' tariffs. I don't know where his numbers are coming from, but they have nothing to do with reality. Krugman told us, quote, it's a really bad day for the U.S. economy. Now, here's something interesting. I think a lot of what Trump is trying to do in his style of leadership, as it were, is trying to create not only the impression of success when it's not there, like him saying his first 2 months in office have been perfect, which is hilarious, but he's also trying to create an impression that he is omnipotent, that he has all the power. He has powers that no other president has ever had. He has all the power, and nobody else in the U.S. government, nobody else in the United States of America has any power to do anything of their own, let alone any power to stop him.